Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a while since I posted. Pretty much the market's been chopping sideways the whole time. I want to get on here and talk about the same things over and over again. But you know what? At this point, we just need to stick with it. I got into crypto towards the tail end of the last bull market, seeing all these people make money and how great crypto was. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stick through it. And I know that's going to happen to me. Just let me study, let me see what's going on. It'll help me understand what's going on with crypto. And then maybe that could be me one day. That has not changed. This market is a little bit different now because now we have institutional interest, tons of money coming in, and the market's reacting differently than it did back when I got in. Back then, there was a lot of VCs, a lot of retail money, but now it's a little bit more steady, right? So things are a little bit different, and I think the market is probably going to rhyme, but I don't think it's going to be the same. So people are anticipating that the alt season will begin in October, November, December. But who knows? It could begin before that, a little bit after that. But this video is just letting you know that I'm still in the market. I'm still DCAing, and I'm going to talk about the projects that I'm DCAing into and just my overall view on where I am with crypto. So guys, if you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel. I will be making more videos, at least trying to. But some days it's hard, right? You expect your bag to be pumping, and so far it's not pumping. But we still got to have faith. As long as you're invested in some good projects, things will change and the pump will come. So let's talk about some things here, guys. Let's take a look at the market, see where we're at. This is coin market cap. We see that Bitcoin at the time of this video is about 108,455. For the past week, down 5%. ETH was on a run, right? ETH slowed down a bit for the past 7 days. Is down 7%, 4,458. We have XRP under $3, so that's down almost 7% for the week. Good buying opportunity there. Solana is starting to heat up a little bit. It was stuck in the 150s, 160s for a while. Got up to like 210, 214. Now it's down a little bit. Well, for the past week, only down 1%. Doge, 21 cents, down almost 6.5%. We have ADA still in the top 10, 82 cents, down almost 9%. And then Chainlink is down 7.6%, $23. Hyperliquid is pretty on, it's on fire right now, $44.29, down only 0.15. And then you have Sui, which is another one of my favorites. Sui's been going down. Sui's down to $3.28, almost down 10%. I actually think that might be a good buying opportunity. Then you have AVAX to round it out. I won't go over all the lists, but AVAX at 23.91, and for the past week down almost 6%, just about 6%. And then Litecoin, I lied. I like Litecoin. Litecoin is 110, and that's down 7.7%. So what is going on? Well, you have long holiday weekend here in the U.S. Not a lot of volume going on. And also on Friday, the U.S., we just got a inflation reading showing that it ticked up a bit. PCE came in at 2.9. Highest since February of this year. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index showed that core inflation ran at a 2.9 seasonally adjusted annual rate in July, meeting expectations but higher than June. So the good thing is that it met expectations. It didn't go above it. The bad thing is that it was higher than the month prior. So it's showing something that we don't want to see here in the US, that inflation is going up. The reason we don't want to see that is because it's going to impact our bags. How is it going to impact our bags? Well, we have the Fed chair who, I guess 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, he was at Jackson Hole. He spoke Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and he mentioned, and his message basically was that there are going to be some rate cuts coming in. And because of that, crypto, tech, everything just skyrocketed. All risk assets went higher. However, with this news showing that inflation, is coming up from the month prior, maybe there's some drawback. Maybe the Powell and the Fed won't cut in September. But if you look at the Fed, this is the Fed probability of them tracking if a cut's going to happen. And this thing has been gangbusters. It's always correct. It's showing that we're still going to get a 0.25 cut on September 17th. at 86.4%. That's almost a guarantee. So it didn't go down even after the PCE news. So that's positive. Now, if that happens, that's going to be positive for some of these bags. But the market's anticipating this decision here on September 17th. So this is the perfect DCA opportunity into your alts or whatever you want to get into. This is it right now. Because once that cut happens on September 17th, and who knows, he could surprise us. Maybe it could be a 0.50, but most likely 0.25. Once that happens, things will go back up because the markets will be settled. They'll understand that, yes, he did cut, and we may get 1 or 2 more for the remainder of the year. So that's good. But September historically hasn't been that strong for Bitcoin. Now let's look at where VC money, where smart money, institutional money, ETF money is going into for the week ending August 23rd. Obviously, there'll be another chart coming out in the next 48 hours showing these numbers, but let's take a look at weeks prior. And we see that Bitcoin had an outflow. This is week ending August 23rd of 1,030. Holy moly. So they had a Bitcoin outflow. This is in millions. So this is about 1 billion outflow. And then Ethereum had an outflow of 440 million. Solana had an inflow of 12 million. Then you have XRP had an inflow of 25 million. Sui had an outflow of 12.9. That's interesting. So Sui had this outflow, and then you see the price of Sui down to 320. Sui also has been unlocking, and this unlock is like 2%, I think, almost every month. So that's impacting the price of Sui. Litecoin had an inflow of 300,000. Cardano had an inflow of 2.9 million. Chainlink had an inflow of 2.1 million. So that's good. Chainlink had some good news. I believe they're going to use, Chainlink's going to fetch information, something with the government, jobs data, or something like that. So that's positive. Pith also had influx of activity because of this, since it's also an Oracle. So that's positive news for Chainlink. What else? Solana is just, right now they have a bunch of ETFs that just been updated. And I think they have more than 5 that are set to be, heard by the SEC and possibly approved. And we saw what that did for Ethereum. Just imagine what's going to do for Solana. I think Pantera Capital came out. They want to raise $2 billion just to have Solana, or hold Solana. So things are going to be on the up and up for some of these. And right now, currently, I'm DCAing into Solana heavy, a little bit of Sui, Litecoin, and believe it or not, it's not as sexy, but Chainlink is one that I like as well. It just has a lot of use case, and I can see a lot of institutional money flowing into Chainlink. A lot of DeFi wouldn't happen if Chainlink wasn't around. So Chainlink is very important. So another reason that I want to make this video is because if you look at the metrics of Solana, it's just killing it on all angles. And I don't understand how the price is where it is. And on Twitter X, there's this guy named Danny _underscore Krypton. Give him a follow on Twitter or X. He has some good info. And he said the culprit, or one of the main culprits, could be Binance. And I'm going to go through this thread a little bit with you guys and follow it. It's very interesting. And I've heard this from other YouTubers as well, that Binance, they're almost pulling a FTX type thing. And I hope nothing happens remotely close to what happened with FTX, because that was basically the beginning of the bear market. So he goes on to say that they sold $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum to wipe out the long positions. He said the market was overloaded with bullish catalysts such as rate cuts, all of that, record flow in ETFs. So people in the market felt pretty good. So there were just a lot of long positions thinking the price would continue to go up. Binance, they're in the business of being market makers and making money. So they did what they went after the longs, which makes perfect sense. However, he's saying that Binance is still dumping ETH every minute. They've sold over $1 billion in ETH today alone. Now, this was 2 days ago. He said they've got a motive, obviously, futures liquidations. By forcing these moves, traders get flushed out and Binance takes the profit. Remember 2024, 344 million liquidated in 1 day. Current manipulations will bring them no less. The real drama is with Sol, which is what I started with, Solana. Binance has been offloading it piece by piece through Wintermute. Remember that name, Wintermute. And it's not only about quick profits. Market cap of Solana is 102 billion. Binance is 117 billion. They simply don't want Solana breathing down their neck. Interesting. And then here he shows proof. Binance transfers of Solana to Wintermute. Look at that. But where does Binance even get Solana? Because technically they don't have any on the books. Interesting, right? Their proof of reserve show they only hold client funds. So are they using client funds to do this? Which is what we're fearful of, and we hope nothing crazy happens because of this. So Marty Party went on to say that Binance won't allow Solana to pass BNB market cap, so they suppress it by using Wintermute. Here are the receipts. And they're getting the Solana from customer funds. This makes this exchange look terrible. User funds are meant to be safe, not fuel for market games. FTX tried the same trick with Alameda, and we all remember how that ended. And that's SBF right there. So what's in for the next market? What's going on the next phase of the market? Phase 1 is panic and retail exits. I think we've seen some of that. Accumulation during the dump. That's going on now. And then there's a sharp rally. So I think we're here. We're in between 2 and 3. September is anticipated to be kind of rocky, and I'm ready for that. But October, if you're strong and you DCA right now when the time is right, you should be rewarded. And if it doesn't happen in September, it doesn't happen in November, I'm still holding strong until it's official that we're in a bear market. So if we look at Bitcoin returns in September, this is it. We're here right now. 2022 red, 2021 red, 2020 red. There's been a lot of reds. But if you look at October, we've just been green. So looking at this trend, I don't know where we're going to head. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm anticipating the worst, hope for the best, as they say. Now, are we in altcoin season yet? Which is why I'm still leaning towards October, November, December. Bitcoin dominance has been going down, right? We wanted to see it under 60%. So Bitcoin right now is at 57.1. That is the Bitcoin dominance. So that part is happening. Now we need ETH to have a bigger market cap. We want ETH's market cap to be higher than all of the alts together, right? Then after that, when ETH is done, the blow off top, it reaches all-time high, stays the all-time high, makes another all-time high. Then I think the money flows into the alts and we see true altcoin season. We're not there yet. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. So if we look at the ETH market supply, the total altcoin supply. So this is a market cap of excluding Bitcoin and ETH. It's at 1 trillion right now. 1 trillion. And if we look at ETH's market cap currently, we're at 540. So ETH has some ground to make. So we need ETH to double this, right? ETH to make an all-time high. I think it hit it last week. But we need to see ETH, these numbers that we're talking about, like the 7, the 8, 9,000, 10,000. We see any numbers like that, then ETH starts going down, then the money starts trickling in to the others. And that's when altcoin season, in my opinion, that's when that's going to happen. So I'm going to end this by looking at some just metrics here, just in general. Market cap right now of crypto space is 3.8 trillion. Daily active addresses has gone down for the last 30 days to 17.5 million. Daily transactions, look at that, down almost 85% the last 30 days, 159. And for this, it could be a number of things, right? But, I'm going to say it's the summer. Retail money hasn't really flowed back in yet, but wait till True FOMO hits. I think this will change. But if we look at the top chains with the fees collected in the last 24 hours, Hyperliquid is killing it. Ethereum, Tron, Solana. Those are the big dogs right now for as far as top chains with the fees. Top bridge net flows. Starknet had a big inflow. Unichain had a big inflow. Third is Solana. Fourth is Optimism. Avalanche had a little bit. And then down here you see all of the outflows. So Solana, I like that. Top stablecoin supply changes. Look at Ton. Ton's got a bunch of stablecoins. And we know stablecoin regulation and laws have passed here in the US, so that's positive. Aptos also has gotten a lot. Hyperliquid got a little bit. Stellar a little bit. And then that's it. Surprisingly, Ripple got a little outflow. And Say, I don't know what's happening with Say. They got an outflow as well. They were supposed to be part of the Wisconsin stablecoin program, and they are not. Surprisingly, Solana's in there. I think ETH's in there, but not Say. So something's going on with Say. Not to mention there's a lot of unlocks happening right now with that project. So top assets by total value locked. We see that right now Ethereum is the top dog, followed by Aave, Lido, Layer, Athena, Solana, EtherFi, and Bitcoin. If we look at this, the main thing as far as TVL goes, Ethereum is killing it. Ethereum and its L2s are killing it. But not too far behind is Solana. Solana's right there with 11.3 billion. But ETH is the big dog when it comes to TVL. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Looking at this chart again, I'm still DCAing into Solana. I think Solana is going to have a big run. I know the price is high right now, but I think I can see Solana going much higher than this, especially when those inflows come in and people realize what this project and how fast this chain really is. I think Solana is going to be interesting. Also, Chainlink I've been DCing into recently. Hyperliquid I've been DCing into. Sui, although with the unlocks and everything like that, I still think there's a run for Sui. All-time high was around $5. I can see Sui hitting 8 or 10. So this is a smaller project, so it has more gains to get. So if we get true altcoin season, a lot of FOMO, I think Sui can prosper. AVAX is also one that still hasn't hit anything near its all-time high. Still doing good things. RWA, gaming, DeFi. It has all of that. Just hasn't caught on yet. Has some good partnerships. So I think AVAX will do all right as well. And Litecoin, I think Litecoin has a lot of potential. The narrative of it being Bitcoin silver, when people see Bitcoin is unattainable anymore, they're going to look for that other option. And Litecoin has some of the same things. There's, a set supply, there's a halving, it's cheaper. You can use that more to transact versus the Bitcoin store of value. I think Litecoin it has a narrative. I'm liking that a lot. So that's my video for today, guys. It's been a while since I posted. I'm going to try to post more, just working, life, a lot of things going on. I can't post every day like I want to, but I think we're in the thick of it. Things are starting to get interesting in crypto. This is the last hurdle, I believe, before we start seeing those gains that we've been waiting for. So that's my video for today. I hope all is well. Until next time.